What's up, everybody? I'm Jacob. If you're new here, I talk a little bit about everything. If you like that, stick around a little longer. And in today's video, I'm going to ask an AI if AI can be programmed to deliberately deceive. So ask a liar if they lie. But seriously though, I wanted to actually go over some landmark things that occurred where AI was actually used to deceive people. But I first asked AI just a general question, because this is how you seed, you give the AI context of what you want to talk about. So I asked the AI, can AI be programmed to deliberately deceive? And it says yes. AI can be programmed to deliberately deceive, but whether it should is another matter entirely. Well, that's an honest answer, right? How can AI be programmed to deceive? Number one, misinformation bots. AI can be designed to spread false or misleading information, as seen in some propaganda campaigns. And I've talked in some more recent videos about the DARPA under DoD develops tools to filter, control the narrative and filter truth. And they gave those tools to big tech and social media platforms to do that.
Mr. Schellenberger, last Congress, you helped expose censorship grants at the National Science Foundation, specifically known as Track F grants. Can you tell us more about those censorship activities conducted associated with these grants?
Yeah, this was the National Science Foundation's Track F was basically to create censorship tools that would become sort of the middleware to, such as NewsGuard, for example, is the most famous of which, or the Global Disinformation Index. The idea is to essentially impose on people's systems, either directly through their computers or adopted by social media companies, a set of tools that would allow centralized authorities to decide what the truth was and filter it for people.
I'm not so sure about the spreading of information, but certainly, tempering down opinions. But we'll ask the AI for some specific examples momentarily, but let's read some more of these. Let's see, 2. Deceptive NPCs in games. AI characters in video games can be programmed to mislead players as part of strategic gameplay. Well, that's not as harmful. Let's see, adversarial AI. Some AI models can be trained to manipulate responses or evade detection. For example, deepfake technology or AI-generated phishing attempts. Well, that sounds a little more nefarious. We'll ask for some examples on that. Let's see, social engineering. AI can mimic human speech to deceive, as in scam bots that impersonate real people. Yeah, so definitely sending out messages and emails to do social engineering for sure, to lure people in. But my dad, I've talked about, got scammed, that gift card scam. Actually, I think I should do a video on that. But anyway, one of the scammers that perpetrated it was actually using a real-time voice changer to make them sound like they were from a totally different region and were capable of speaking of an entirely different language. Pretty crazy. Let's see, 5. Poker and strategy games. AI in poker, for example, can bluff, which is a form of deception. Well, that's interesting. I mean, that's interesting in gameplay, but using that in the real world, that's yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let's see, ethical and legal considerations. And I talk a lot about ethics in AI quite a bit on this channel. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I've also talked about this new job that's kind of coming up out of artificial intelligence called the AI ethicist. And these people are the folks that think of this kind of stuff and put rails into the AIs that we use in the public. But the governments, with their tools and stuff, they probably aren't thinking of this as readily. So, but anyway, let's continue on here. Deceptive AI in malicious contexts, fraud, scams, fake news is generally considered unethical and often illegal. And that's where you kind of get into that philosophical, difference between something being unethical versus illegal. And somewhere in between, you get regulations and laws. Let's see. Regulations and AI ethics guidelines are being developed to prevent harmful uses and deceptive AI. Need I say more? Let's see. Would you like to explore any specific cases of AI deception? So I kind of knew where I was going with this. Or are you considering its use for a particular project? So I said, give me landmark events for each of the 5 items above. So let's see the first one here. Misinformation bots, 2016 US presidential election. Let's see here. During the 2016 US presidential election, AI-driven bots were used on social media to spread misinformation and influence public opinion. Studies revealed that Russian-backed bot networks on platforms like Twitter, now X, and Facebook disseminated fake news, exploiting AI to manipulate narratives. I probably shouldn't get into specifics because this video will get demonetized probably or filtered by the YT. Let's see, number 2, deceptive NPCs in games. The AI director in Left 4 Dead 2008. Valve's Left 4 Dead introduced the AI director, an algorithm that manipulates the player's experience by misleading them. The AI alters zombie spawn locations, enemy behavior, and in-game events, creating the illusion of randomness and suspense. And the deception is key to the game's unpredictability and replayability. So yeah, it's entertaining in that context, but controlling real-world information and weapons, oh boy, that I would not want to live in that world.
These North Korean soldiers don't have any armored vehicles or any artillery that are supporting them. And so these soldiers appear to be dispatched to the trenches on foot. They appear to be frightened and confused. Some of them sort of paralyzed a little bit in the face of attack drones.
Let's see, 3. Adversarial AI. Deepfake scandal, 2019 Nancy Pelosi video. I'm not aware of this one. Let's see, in 2019, a deepfake video of Nancy Pelosi was widely shared, appearing to show her slurring her speech. The AI was used to subtly modify video speech and pitch, making it seem like she was drunk or impaired. I hadn't heard that. I didn't know that.
Since we took the majority.
Here is the real video of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
And then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals.
Now the doctored video in which she appears to be impaired.
And then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals.
That clip received more than 2.5 million views on Facebook.
This event highlighted the dangers of deepfake technology in politics and misinformation. Or maybe the deepfake is that the video actually was real and they fixed the slurring. I don't know. But yeah, this is interesting. Let's see. Social engineering. The Google Duplex demo in 2018. At Google I/O 2018, Google showcased Google Duplex, an AI assistant that could make human-like phone calls. Oh boy. The AI booked reservations and interacted with unsuspecting human receptionists without revealing it was an AI. And that's an interesting ethical question because even with deep fakes or faceless videos on YouTube, there's this what you call the uncanny valley, where it's human-like enough, but it'll mispronounce something or say something in a weird way or phrase something in a way that nobody would really say in the context of the language spoken. And so you subconsciously you go, oh, that's an AI. But if the AI gets so good, should videos created have watermarks saying, this is generated by AI, or you get a call from a machine say, hey, I'm an automated system. Should that be a law? Should that be required? I don't know. Good, that's an interesting question. I don't know if they'll ever get that good, but at some point, maybe past my lifetime, maybe they will. Let's see. This sparked debates about whether AI should be required to disclose its identity when communicating with humans. So again, my mind just went there right away. Let's see, 5, poker strategy games. Liberatus defeats human poker pros. Liberatus, an AI developed by Carnegie Mellon University, defeated professional poker players in no-limit Texas Hold'em. How could it do that? How could it bluff a human without some kind of... Well, anyway, let me read that. Let's see. Unlike chess or Go, poker involves bluffing and deception, requiring the AI to mislead opponents about its hand strength. Yeah, I don't know how it would do that. I should find a video, because to me, part of bluffing is like the facial and body language. So I don't know how that because you can't reproduce that in robots, because again, the uncanny valley. We don't have robots that are good enough to imitate the human experience, or the human expression. So that's interesting. Let's see. Unlike chess or Go, poker involves bluffing and deception, requiring the AI to mislead. Oh, I read that. I'm sorry. Let's see. This was a breakthrough in AI's ability to strategically deceive in competitive scenarios. I need to find a video of that, because I'm really curious of how the AI could actually bluff a professional poker player. Because that's part of the game, is to watch the bluffing through the human interaction. So I don't get how that would work. But anyway, would you like more details on any of these events? You know what? Let's ask it about the poker bluffing. On how the AI, let's see, implemented bluffing techniques. Let's see, I'll be more specific. The Liberatus AI implemented, and by the way, misspelling, it's going to know what I'm saying, and I'm going to leave it in just to prove a point. Let's see. Do you have more information on how the Liberatus AI implemented bluffing techniques in the course of playing poker with human opponents? Let's see what it says. Okay, so it says the poker AI developed Carnegie Mellon University 2017 was a major breakthrough in AI's ability to strategically bluff in no-limit Texas Hold'em. Unlike earlier AI systems that excelled at perfect information games like chess and Go, so again, while there is kind of bluffing in chess and checkers, but it's not at like the level of poker. Because with chess, you could totally ignore your opponent and just look at the chessboard and totally think strategy. So that makes sense. Let's see. Liberatus mastered the incomplete information and psychological deception required in poker. How it implemented bluffing techniques. It didn't bluff in the human sense by reading emotions. Okay, here we go. But instead it used game theory and randomness to execute deceptive plays effectively. Here's how. So what, it cheated? That's kind of what it sounded like. Because I remember when I was a kid, my dad bought this electronic chess game, and it was a physical chessboard, and you move the pieces, and the software in the board had magnets, or read the magnets in the board, so it knew where you moved your chess pieces, and then it would tell you where to move its chess pieces. And every time I was 1 or 2 moves away from a checkmate, it would like castle through existing pieces, or it would ignore what I did and then just keep playing. So yeah, I'm curious to see. Of course, that was software. I mean, the AI, but this sounds like cheating to me. Let's see here. Liberatus played an unexploitable strategy based on Nash equilibrium, meaning it avoided predictable patterns. Okay. So it almost kind of sounds like it's controlling the deck, maybe? It didn't rely on reading opponents' tells like humans do, but instead focused on making its own actions unpredictable to prevent exploitation. Okay. Mixed strategies, randomizing actions to bluff. Instead of always playing the strongest or most obvious move, it randomized its actions to introduce deceptive play. This made it impossible for human players to predict whether it was bluffing or holding a strong hand. So probably like sacrificed good hands and stuff like that, good cards in their hand or in its hand. If it always bet big with strong hands and checked with weak ones, humans would adapt. Instead, Liberatus sometimes bluffed aggressively, even with weak hands. Oh, okay. I guess I don't understand poker very well. That's obvious. Let's see. Adaptive bluffing based on pot size and risk. Okay. Reverse bluffing. So let's see. Slow playing. Underplayed strong hands. And if it had a monster hand, instead of betting big immediately, it would check or call to encourage opponents to overcommit. Okay. That makes sense. That's starting to make sense now. I don't play a lot of poker, so. Post-flop adjustments using self-improvement algorithms. Continued improving overnight by analyzing games and adjusting its strategy. After each day, it reanalyzed human strategies and optimized its own play for the next round. So it learned its opponents. Wow. Exploiting opponent weaknesses without becoming exploitable. That's interesting. So it's almost like learning war game strategies. But anyway, yeah, I think that's good enough. I was just really curious to find out, how it didn't do bluffing. Because my understanding with bluffing in poker is it's all the human interaction. So yeah, there's all the strategies with your hands and how you bet. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe and comment below. And in the meantime, catch you in the next one. Peace.